So the other question that we're starting to get is, okay, so we can't leave the house, but we're getting really tired of each other's faces, and how do we get out of here? And so there's a lot of really great options these days for virtual field trips, which is really an interesting way to see a little bit more of the world without leaving your couch. So the first website that we found that actually puts a lot of these together in one easy to follow format is called Adventures in Familyhood. They put together a list of 20 museums, zoos, and aquariums that are all offering virtual tours. So you can watch the otters at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, or you can explore the Louvre in Paris. And there's so many more options, all without leaving home.
Now, if you don't want to just make this all about learning and you want to have a little bit of fun, you can also go to Disneyland virtually. You can ride the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't think Space Mountain's on there because that would just be you staring at a black screen. But you can at least go on a virtual vacation instead of making it all about education.
Right. So the other thing we're getting a lot is, how do we just get rid of screens? Because there's a point where that's just too much. And our suggestion is podcasts. There are some amazing podcasts out there for engaging with your kids, but that aren't tearing your brain out of your head, boring for you guys as well. One that we like to listen to in our house is actually called Pants on Fire. It's pretty funny. It's basically, they have a kid that has to differentiate between two people who are talking. One is an expert on a topic and the other is just some random schmo of a person who's making it up as they go. And they basically have to figure out how to differentiate between truth and made up stories based on questions that are being asked. Another one that's fun is called Forever Ago. It's another history-based podcast, but it explains the origins of things like sandwiches, video games, skateboards, and emojis. So that one's pretty fun. My kids also really enjoy Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest, which is a podcast by the author of A Tale Dark and Grim, which we also really loved, Adam Gidwitz. He's one of our favorites. And he tells some of the real grim fairy tales to a group of kids.
And you can use an application like Pocket Cast in order to have all of your podcasts in one location, but you can also share them across multiple devices. So if your kid's listening on your iPhone while you're in the kitchen making dinner, and then they want to go off on their Kindle into their bedroom, they can continue listening to the exact same podcast without missing a beat.
That's right. We also really like Overdrive. Overdrive is an amazing way to borrow books on either ebook format or audiobook format from your library. So you basically just connect your Overdrive account to your library card, and then you can check out things digitally and always have access to new content.
So if you're lucky enough to have a teacher who's been giving you lesson plans and making your life very easy, no problem, right? But if you're having to come up with all of the ideas of how to keep your kids educated and entertained at the same time, all on your own, that can be a bit of a challenge.
Right. And so we wanted to just give a few suggestions for places you can go, either for plug and play material that already exists for you or just for engagement. National Geographic Kids actually has a really great website with videos on things like animals, obviously, but they also have a series of videos called Try This, which are easy science experiments you can do at home, some with or without parental guidance. So if you've got an older sibling, they can often just do that themselves. My kids got really excited about a number of these science experiments. There's also Mission 2, which lets you do virtual visits to the various planets in our solar system. We've also been using Scholastic Learn at Home. That's through their classroommagazines.scholastic.com website. Basically, it's daily themed educational videos that are by grade level. So you can choose your student's grade level. And then there's a video, there's a read along, there's activities, and it's day by day. So that's been a really great resource that we've used a lot. There's also a comprehensive list of available resources posted at weareteachers.com. It's a website that obviously is a group of teachers that have gathered a bunch of resources that are really, really useful. There's also a bunch of famous authors and actors that are doing virtual read-alouds of their favorite books, and we are super excited to hear stories by Mo Willems, Oliver Jeffers, who did The Day the Crayons Quit, if you guys know that series, which is a big favorite at our house. James Dean, the author of the Pete the Cat series, and even Oprah Winfrey has read a couple books too.
I love that Oprah Winfrey.
All right, guys. Well, we hope that this gets you through the next at least few weeks of homeschooling as we migrate over into distance learning, and we'll see you next time.